guys, it's Treasure and welcome back to my chest. So today we're doing week 5 of the Artist Way. It is Monday. I am late, I know, but I'm still going through it and I was just struggling. So I wasn't feeling it. I was sick on Sunday, so I was just like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So we're getting into it, and I think the video will be shorter for once because I have 11% battery on my phone, and my charger is not long enough for me to charge the phone. So let's hope the battery will fucking survive. I feel like I look so tired today. Anyways, don't do this shit. Okay, week five. So for week 5, it was recovering a sense of possibility. From what I understood from the part that we have to read, it talks about how we limit ourselves by the way that we think. So let's say you have a dream, okay, of being like, I don't know, the best singer in the whole fucking world, okay? Let's be extra. But then you come out and tell yourself, but I can't do that. It's like you're limiting yourself with the beliefs that you have, or you're limiting yourself with things that you think are more realistic. And you know, that's why we're trying to recover a sense of possibility, because it's like, stop limiting your dreams by what you've learned or what goes through your head. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. And then it's also encouraging to trust your intuition and trust into a higher power. Sorry, my cat just eats so much and it just stresses me out when I see him eat. Can you please go away? He's so fat. He's so fat, and my other cat is so skinny. It's like he doesn't leave her food. Anyways, yeah. So how we limit ourselves by just being too realistic, and how we're just thinking negatively and fearfully, and that's what kind of limits us, because we just think too much, I guess. And to listen to our artist child, and to believe into a higher power. I'm so sorry. I'm very bad at like re-explaining what I've read. It's like my brain kind of gets it, but then to remember it, fuck that. I think I'm at a point where I should just take notes either in the book or on the side when I read, or either reread the chapter before I do the video, because I feel like every time that I try to explain what I read is just messy. So I'll just read the little part at the beginning, just so maybe it helps. So it says, this week you are being asked to examine your payoffs and remaining stuck. You will explore how you curtail your own possibilities by placing limits on the good you can receive. You will examine the cost of settling for appearing good instead of being authentic. You may find yourself thinking about radical changes, no longer ruling out your growth by making others the cause of your constriction. Yes, it also talks about that in the fucking thing. That like we care too much about how we appear and how we're perceived, that we're kind of like making it that we're not authentic because we're doing things because of how it's going to look, if that makes sense. Feels like nothing makes sense. My hair's okay. I feel like I'm all over the place today. Guys, if you were in my head, like, so basically there was like exercises that were in the book that were before the real exercises, and my ass was like, that's too much work, I cannot. So since they weren't like part of the real exercises of the week, I kind of put a spot in my notebook for it, but I'm not gonna do them now. Like some of them I started, but then I was just like, I'm overwhelmed, there's too many exercises. Like usually there's like 10 tasks, and then she added like 6 or 7 exercises before those tasks, and I was just like, I already had a week where I was all over the place. I do not have time for all these fucking exercises. So I skipped them. I'm gonna be honest, okay? But again, I put a spot in my notebook, so when I am in a good mindset, I can just go and do the parts that I didn't do. So let's get started. Okay, so the following task for the week. Number 1 was the reason I can't really believe in a supportive God is list 5 grievances. So basically list 5 reasons why you don't believe in God or you can't believe in God. I do believe in the universe and in spirit and all that shit, but I am someone personally that, like, when I read stuff about God, like calling it God or like really bringing religion out, it kind of icks me, and I don't like that. So I will say most of the parts why I don't believe in a real God, but I guess maybe it does correlate with the universe. I don't fucking know, but I hate calling it God. So the reason I can't believe in a supportive God is number 1, suffering / injustice in the world. Let's like, I feel like that's a very valid first of all, Donald Trump getting elected as a president for the 2nd time after all the shit that he's done, all the shit that he will do, that is an example. The shit that's going on in Gaza and Israel, the shit that went on in Ukraine and Russia, you know, like all these big ass fucking things. And it's like, if there was really a God, why is there all these things going on in the world? You know, like, you're trying to teach a lesson to these, like, I don't know. Just, I feel like if there was a God that could actually help people, there wouldn't be the type of shit that's going on, like the wars or the fucking countries where, like, people can not even get fucking running water or food that won't fucking make them sick. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, nah. Then the religious hypocrisy. So in parentheses, leaders being cruel. So basically, these people that are in power in a religious setting that are literally taking advantage of their power and treating the people like shit. I saw a video about a guy, I don't know if it was in the Philippines, now it's bothering me, but I really want to say it's wrong. There is like this very like, this kind of dictator in a religion, and like it was everywhere on the internet. So like his cult is kind of very big, but then a bunch of shit came out that like he abuses the girls in his cult, like he launders money, he does a bunch of fucking shit, and people kind of followed him because they saw him as a religious, you know, person, as like good person, but like he's doing so many fucking crimes in the background. So it's just like, if there was a God, why are people in a religious setting able to do these things and still be the power in that setting? I don't know if that makes sense. My God, if there's religious people that get offended by what I'm saying, I'm really sorry. That's just my opinion. It just makes no sense to me. Anyways. 3, God's support seems conditional. I think that just, do I need to explain? Some people seem to get God's support and some don't. Personal pain / trauma. Okay. Yes, when you believe in the universe and whatever, you do try and like look back at your trauma and be like, this, I learned a lesson, lesson, blah, blah, blah. But I still feel like there are traumas or things that happen in your life that you're just like, how was that a lesson? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of an example and I can't find one. I can hear my roommate and it's distracting me. I am so easily distracted. I can't find it. Like, I'm trying to, I don't know. Let's say like a plane crashes and everyone dies. What was the lesson? Was that a lesson just for the pilot? But the pilot is dead. So I don't know if it makes fucking sense. Whatever. We're gonna go to the 5th one. People who do evil still prosper. So this is a bit similar to, but it's not necessarily evil people that are in religious. Okay, examples for that are Diddy, Jeffrey Einstein, all these fucking powerful beings that have done the fucking wildest shit, and they're still able to do the wildest shit and keep doing the wildest shit just because they have money. This is just, oof. I don't like that. Anyways, number 2 is starting an image file. If I had either faith or money, I would try. List 5 desires. Now, she said, start an image file. I don't have a printer. I was just like, I don't have magazines. Who the fuck still uses magazines in 2025? So I was just like, how am I supposed to get images? And the thing is, during all the exercises, she's like, get images for this, get images for that, get images for that, and put it in the file. I'm like, no. I was thinking about doing a Pinterest board, but technically I already have a Pinterest board that kind of has the things that she says, because I have a vision board, Pinterest board, where I put things that I want to buy, things that I want to have, things that I want to achieve. So technically it's still, it already exists. So it's not like I'm skipping the exercise. It's a bit like it was already done before. So I had to mention that I was skipping that part, because I swear all the other ones, she's like, add images, add images, add images. So for number 2, so list 5 desires. So my 5 desires are moving to Italy. I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel. I'm pretty sure I did. I want to move to Italy, and it's crazy because for years and years and years, I've just had this intense feeling that I need to move to Italy. It's like I've researched this online, and a lot of people have felt the same about different countries. And when they talk about their experience, they like, some of them are like, when I finally moved to that country, I had a huge spiritual awakening, or when I moved to that country, I met the love of my life. I know it might sound crazy if you're not like spiritually awakened, but I feel like when you're feeling pulled to a country that you literally have never been to, or you don't know, but you just have this crazy kind of attachment and passion about it, I feel like there's a fucking reason for it. So I'm just like, I need to move to Italy, and I'm working on learning Italian. I've been doing research. I'm looking at houses even. I don't have the money for a fucking house in Italy. I'm still checking. I'm even like looking at videos of like people giving the ups and the downs of moving to Italy, because obviously the grass ain't greener on the other side, okay? Like, we're gonna be honest. I want to move from Canada because there's so many things about Canada that I fucking hate. But I know that there are other countries that are going through shit, and like me moving to another country will not solve the issues that I don't like in Canada, because there's gonna be either the same issues in another country or different issues. So I do research like the issues in Italy so I can know them in advance, and if there's things that I'm just like, oh shit, fuck that, I know. But so far the things that I have seen, it's not as bad. It's not as bad, or it's like similar to what pisses me off about Canada. So I'm like, if I can be in a hot, like beautiful country with amazing food, instead of being in a country where there's fucking crazy ass winter, and in a part of Canada that is hated by the rest of Canada, you know, I'm gonna skip that shit. Sorry, she was walking through I didn't want to, anyways. Okay. Yo, I'm still at 2. So that's my first desire. I keep yapping. So moving to Italy. Next, a body full of tattoos. I don't know if it counts, but I'm someone that like wants a lot of tattoos. Like, I want them all the way to my neck. I'm just really bad with money, and I am very impulsive. So I haven't gotten to that point, because literally like there's tattoos that I have that I regret because I did them before I was 25. And I swear to God, when I will have children, I will tell them you have to wait until you're 18 to get tattoos. But I will also tell them, please note, all the tattoos that I got before my brain was developed, most of them I'm just like second guessing them. So at least they'll be warned, you know, because oh my God, when I think about the tattoos that I wanted when I was in high school, guys, I'm so happy that my mom was strict. Like, I'm so happy that she was strict and she didn't let me have tattoos before I was 18, because guys, the tattoos that I wanted were so embarrassing. They were so embarrassing, and I am so happy I didn't get them. I wanted a fucking barcode. I wanted, like, there's this fucking rapper that has like paws on her tits. I wanted the same thing. Like, it just, there was no originality. They were just all cringe, and I'm very, very glad that I didn't get them. So yeah. 3, attend the Met Gala. Please don't judge me. But it's just a very fashion event. I'm not like thinking about the rich people being cracks. I'm sorry. That's just one of my desires. Fuck it. 4, create my own fashion line / business. And 5, meet Ariana Grande in real life and let her know that I love her so much. So yeah, next. So number 3, one more time, list 5 imaginary lives. Have they changed? Are you doing more parts of them? I suck because I don't do parts of the lives that, like, she kind of asked to do things from the lives that you put in there, but I'm just like, anyways. So number 3, I actually just, when she said, have they changed? I was like, oh, so I can put the same ones. So basically the 5 imaginary lives that I put now are like the 5 ones from all the other ones that I did that I prefer, because my brain was just like, I didn't have any more, fucking cats fighting, I didn't have any more ideas, because it's like, yeah, there's imaginary lives, but I don't want to put jobs in those imaginary lives that I wouldn't like, you know what I mean? Like, if I have no interest in working in construction, I'm not going to put that in one of my imaginary lives. I'd like to be a constructor, like a construction worker, you know? So anyways, so I put 1, a writer, 2, a horror movie actress, 3, a show mermaid. I swear, I would love that. 4, makeup artist, and 5, a costume designer. So these are the 5 ones that I liked the most in all the ones that I have said in the other exercises that I had talked about before. Then the next one, there was a lot of lists this week. It wasn't like these big, like, bright paragraphs and shit. It was literally a bunch of just lists of things, desires, imaginary lives, adventures, just a bunch of shit that you want to do. You're just gonna list them. So, and again, she wanted images, but bitch, I don't have time for that. 4, if I were 20 and had money, list 5 adventures. Again, add images. So number 4, list 5 adventures that I would do if I was 20 and I had already money when I was 20. So I had to think back about what I was doing when I was 20, because I wanted to be realistic. Like, if there's things that I wasn't even into at that age, why would I put that I would have been doing it? So list 5 adventures. I wrote travel to Italy, because obviously if I was 20 and I had already money back then, I would have traveled to Italy already. I haven't done it yet because I'm broke. And going to Europe is so expensive. 2, go to Comic-Con with no restrictions. So I went to Comic-Con when I was younger. I had money, but I don't know if you guys have been to Comic-Con, but this is the type of place, it's a con, it's a convention. There's a bunch of shit there that you can buy and that you can spend money on. And when you're broke, it sucks. It really sucks. But like, I didn't have a lot of bills back then, so I will not like be ungrateful. I had a fucking picture with Bob Morley. I had his signature, and I had a picture with fucking Tom Felton, and I went for the 3 days, and I was able to buy a few things, but I didn't get the autograph with Tom Felton. I would have wanted that. I didn't have enough money for that. And like, there's just other artists that I would like to talk to and have pictures with, and it's like, you can't do everything. If you're not a rich person, you can't do everything at the Comic-Con. And I feel like going to a Comic-Con and having no budget would be fucking amazing. Like, I would have spent so much money. Oh my god, I would have spent so much money. Like, if I spent a lot of money and I was already broke, imagine if I was rich. Oof. 3, travel to France. I had a lot of French friends at the time that I was talking to online, and so many of them I told, oh, I'm gonna travel to France and I'm gonna come and meet you. Bitch, I never did that because I was broke. So if I would have had money, I would have done it. Then 4, road trips with no limits. So go on a road trip with friends and not have any limits. You can go wherever you want. You can rent Airbnbs. You can do this and that. I feel like I don't drive, but I've had opportunities to like do road trips with friends that do drive. But then because there's so much things that you have to spend on, I ended up just not doing them because I was just too broke to like pay the hotel, pay gas, pay food, pay this, pay that. So I feel like that would have been a bit more fun if I had money. And 5, go to more concerts, festivals. So in the last few years, I have been going to concerts way more. Last year, I don't know, like 2023 and 2024, I don't know what the fuck was going on with me, but I was very like, everyone was popping up with concerts and tours, and I just had to go. There's so many people that I saw in the last 2 years. But back when I was 20, I wasn't spending money on concerts or like missing opportunities because people didn't want to go with me to the concerts, because back then I cared about that shit. So if I had money back then, I would have gone to more festivals or even taken VIP in the festivals and gone to more concerts and gotten better spots in the concerts as well. Then For the next one, it was a little bit of the opposite. It says, if I were 65 and had money, list 5 postponed pleasures. So number 1 is travel with no worries. But I feel like I could have done that anytime, but I guess it's just more travel to like a bunch of places and just be more random about the traveling. 2, slowing down and enjoying simple pleasures. 3, investing in well-being, so more massages, facials, spas, like really things where I'm just like living my retired life and just living my best life. 4, hosting lavish dinners or parties. Girl, when I'm rich and like a little bit older, like I want to be that girl that's just like have these fancy ass, extra ass dinner parties. And 5, spontaneity and saying yes more. So just being more adventurous in general, because I feel like at that age, you know, you've done a lot of shit. You've lived your life, but like you have money and you're just like, what the fuck should I do? So like if people would offer things, I would be like, oh yes, yes, yes to that, and just not overthinking and just fucking do it. I feel like every time I feel the Artist Way videos, my nose is itchy. Like I'm about to Google if there's a meaning to that, because it's always these videos. I feel like it's not my normal videos. It's always these specific videos. I'll be doing this. I can hear my neighbors cough, and I wonder if they can hear everything when I'm doing my videos, because I'm literally right next to the wall. Imagine you're my neighbor and you're just hearing like, oh my god. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Okay. 6. What was 6? 10 ways I am mean to myself are, just as making the positive explicit helps allow it into our lives, making negative explicit helps us to exorcise it. Okay, so 1, negative self-talk, because I'm better with that. Let's be honest, I'm better with that. But when you've been used to talk negatively about yourself for years, sometimes it's just a habit and just comes out. The thing, when you work on it, I can't talk. When you work on it, you just have to clock it when it happens and switch it with something that is not negative and that is positive. But that's hard sometimes. You don't always think about doing that. So I still do it. 2, dismissing my own feelings. Sometimes I feel too much on things, and then instead of permitting myself to validate those feelings, I just tell myself that I exaggerate or that I am overreacting instead of validating them, and that is not nice to yourself. 3, comparing myself to others. I try not to do it as much, but sometimes it's hard with social media when you're plastered with everybody's fucking lives in your face. I think that a lot of people do that, and that it has gotten very common to just compare yourself, because we can see everything that people do. So we're gonna compare, obviously. Pushing myself past my limits. I do that a lot. Like, even if I'm fucking, like, I don't know if I have an example. I don't have an example. So 5, avoiding self-care. Yeah. I do my self-care, but at the same time, I don't. Like, there's things that I feel that I should be doing every day. I'm gonna skip it, or like just basic shit that are like so easy to do, and then I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. But it's like, it's self-care, so it's like if you would do it, you would feel better. Anyways, 6, settling for less than I deserve. The men that I have dated, that is a perfect example of me settling for less than what I deserve, and some of the friends that I've had as well. 7, punishing myself for my mistakes. Oh, I've done that many times. Like, and sometimes it's not even funny. Like, I get so mad at myself. I'm not gonna get too much into details about some things that I have done to myself, because I was like punishing myself for mistakes because I don't want to look crazy. But I've done some crazy shit, because I'm telling you, before I really hated myself. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into details because I don't want to trigger people. Dismissing my achievements. I have done that my whole life. Like, every time that I have an achievement, I kind of dismiss it as it being like not that deep. And I feel even like another exercise that we did, like another week, there was an exercise that was asking me like, what achievements did you make as a child? And I'm pretty sure in that video I was kind of dismissing the achievements that I wrote, and I was just like, I don't think it's an achievement, I don't think it's that deep. So that's a perfect example. Then 9, letting fear make decision for me. It took me 12 years to be consistent on my channel, so yeah. 10, believing I'll never change. That I do, like, that has changed since I have worked on myself, but there are things that, like, I'm so discouraged by that I'm at a point where I'm just like, maybe that's just who I am, and no matter what I do, it's not going to change. Obviously, I don't believe that, but there are still moments where you just self-doubt and you just say these things to yourself, even if you shouldn't. My stomach is rumbling. I'm hungry. I'm lost. Oh, 10 items I would like to own that I don't are. And again, you may want to collect the images. I don't have the images, but they're on my Pinterest board. So I feel like it makes me so materialistic, the list that I have, but I honestly, I don't care. I'm just going to be honest. That's the shit I want. 1, a custom color Jeep Wrangler. I've always wanted a Jeep Wrangler and I want it pink. A Rottweiler. A Marc Jacobs tote bag. I've been wanting one of those bags for so long, but I cannot justify spending $300 on a bag with the budget that I have right now. I just can't. I can't do that. Unless I have money to literally throw away, I'm not buying a $300 bag. A juicy tracksuit. A juicy tracksuit. I grew up in the 2000s, okay? I want a fucking juicy tracksuit. 5, a named collective tracksuit, and I don't want only one, I want all of them, but that shit is also fucking expensive, and I cannot justify spending like $500 to $600 to get one hoodie and one fucking pant. I do understand why there are these prices, because if you guys see these tracksuits, they are amazing, but again, with the type of money that I'm getting, I cannot justify buying something like that. 6, a Victorian style house. When I get my house, I want it to like look like a horror movie Victorian house. You know, like when it looks a little bit like a tiny chateau. Oh, and if it's black too. When I'm rich. A motorcycle, because I want to learn how to drive a motorcycle and have a motorcycle. 8, a YouTube 100K silver plaque. A YouTube 1 million gold plaque. And finally, a makeup line. But I feel like I just repeated that from the other thing because I didn't know what to put for 10. Because, like, you can own your own makeup line. So, yeah. Then, the next one is, my favorite creative block is, so basically you write something that is the favorite thing that you do that kind of blocks your creativity. I had a hard time answering that because, like, she wrote, like, examples, like, overreading, friends, work, rescuing others, over exercise, but these were all things that don't resonate for me. So I literally had to ask ChatGPT for examples just so I could, like, understand what I could write. And I found one that was over planning instead of doing. Like, I have spent so much time over planning shit instead of actually doing shit, because I don't know if it's dopamine that I get from it, but when I plan shit, I get very excited. It's like I love organizing and like planning stuff, and like when I am overwhelmed and I feel like I don't know where to start, I always tell myself, oh, I'm gonna plan, so it's gonna help me kind of like visualize what I have to do, and it's gonna help me out. But most of the time I end up not doing it. So, like, just examples. Making a plan, but not using it. Spending time making a plan. I forgot my word. Watching productivity videos instead of being productive. If you guys knew the number of times that I got stuck on YouTube watching self-help video, productive video, morning routine videos for hours, feeling like I was doing something productive, but I wasn't, because I wasn't actually doing what the fucking video said. Waste of time. And writing endless to-do lists instead of checking anything off. That is a good example, because I literally made a sheet that's called weekly to-do lists, And now I make a to-do list for every day, and I write every day what thing that I want to do, that I need to do that day. I did not cross everything off my list last week. I was just like, why did I do this? Why did I do this if I'm not following it? But I'm being better with it this week. Let me check. Actually, yeah, okay, so yesterday I skipped. Like I said, I was feeling sick yesterday. And it's not that bad today. It's not that bad. I was actually kind of good with the things that are in my list, but there's still things that I didn't do or won't be able to do. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Then 9 and 10 were things that she said to do in the morning pages. And the morning pages are not the kind of book that you just read out loud to people. They're literally a book that you don't even read to yourself. Like when she talks about writing in the morning pages, you write your shit, you skip the page, and that's it. You're not supposed to reread your shit. It's supposed to be like a stream of consciousness. So I didn't like do it in this book, and I'm not gonna be like doing it. I want to follow the rules, and the rules are the morning pages, you don't reread that shit. But I will say what it says. It says my payoff for staying blocks is 3 points. So explaining what your payoff is for staying creatively blocked. And the person I blame for being blocked is 3 dots. But kind of like, this is kind of obvious. Like, who do you think blocks my creativity other than myself? So, anyways. Is that it? Yeah, so these are all the exercises. The check-in usually just asks, do you do your morning pages every day? Do you do your artist date? Technically, I did do my artist date. I went to a concert on Saturday alone. So it counts as an artist date because I wasn't going to a concert with friends. I went to a concert alone. And I will be making a video on that about like not focusing on like people or waiting on people to do things that you want to do, because obviously you miss opportunities. Like I almost didn't go to the show because I was having anxiety that day. But when I got to the show, the crowd, like the community at that show, I did not expect the community to just be so loving and be so open, and it being like so much like queer and alternative people, because the artists that I went to see, I was just like, I did not expect that. I expected the opposite. I expected to be fucking idiot kids and a bunch of teenagers, and because someone that blew up on TikTok, so I was scared of that. But it was the opposite, and I almost didn't go, and I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I'm rambling on. But yeah, that was about it for week 5. I'm sorry that the video is not posted on the weekend, because usually I try to tell myself to film and post on the weekend. Now we're Monday, but at least I'm not being too crazy. I'm not waiting until the end of the week and posting 2 videos at a time or something. So yeah, I feel like I talked really fast in this video. That's probably why I stumbled on my words. I just have days where I'm just like, go, go, go. And I'm like, look, it's 32 minutes. I didn't want it to be that long, but I guess the artist ways, it just ends up being long because I say what I write in the exercise, but I try to kind of explain it a little bit deeper. So I just start yapping a lot. But yeah, so this week it's recovering sense of abundance. I will try my best to post that on the weekends, but usually I should be fine. I usually always post on the weekend. I just, like I said, I wasn't feeling well yesterday, and I still feel a little bit weird. So see, that's why I'm waiting fucking last minute to make the video. It's fucking 9 o'clock. Anyways, instead of focusing on the things that I don't do, we're gonna focus on the things that I did do. Did I do it on Sunday? No. But did do the video? Yes. So we're gonna think about the positive about it. Yo, I don't understand. I'm gonna Google that shit and check now. This is normal. Like, why is my nose itchy every time I do this damn video? Anyway, again, I am rambling. If you watch these videos in this little series, thank you for watching, because I'm being vulnerable and talking about personal shit in this video just because I want you guys to see if it actually helps. Obviously, I'm not doing it perfectly, but it is like technically like a lot of shadow work in a way, but like for creativity. So I do believe that even if I'm not doing it properly, it will help me in a way, and it has started helping me. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next week. Bye.